with this? What's it for?
It is for a mid-shaft
Open up the
Femur.
muscle, spread the
Femur.
muscle back out. Yeah, we want to spread everything back out so that muscle contraction stops and those bone ends stop grating back and forth and making a shithouse mess of everything. We're gonna pull traction on the affected leg until mechanical traction takes over from manual. These are things to remember for your state exam. Mechanical traction takes over manual, the legs are the same length, or the patient feels relief. Now that whole patient feels relief thing is a bit of a misnomer. The patient's really gonna feel relief when the medics show up and start an IV and push some fentanyl.
Yeah.
But they at least go from a patient who's screaming to a patient who's not so screaming when you put a traction splint on. Hiya, Padre. What's up, John Shay? Yeah, come on down. You want to teach him how to do traction splint?
Not really, no.
Sure.
To be honest.
Lazy paramedic.
firefighter paramedic.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm sure my friends have my back whether he's a buckethead or not.
Yeah.
Kill him.
He wanted to use the bathroom and I railroaded him.
It's fine.
We don't need to have a mess down here. So, legs are the same length, patient feels relief, mechanical traction takes over for manual. When Rodney comes back, we'll go through how to apply this thing, but if you look at it, it's really not altogether that deep of a concept. You measure it against the unaffected leg. Why?
To avoid damage further damage.
Well, what happens when that femur breaks?
It extends.
It
Or it
gets
can,
shorter.
yeah, shorter.
Right? So that broken leg's gonna be shorter than the other, so we need to get a good measurement, because if we're gonna get them the same length, we need to have a leg that started out
Right.
in the correct anatomic length. You wanna be about 6 to 8 inches longer than the leg when you measure this out. The worst thing that can happen to you when you put this on, and you'll see it in just a second, is you run out of strap either way. Because that means either you've made the leg too long now, or you didn't have enough traction pulled and the leg's still gonna be all jacked up when you're finished. Rodney, if you would.
Oh, someone broke their leg.
Yeah, we'll go outside and practice in the traction.
Sir, is your femur okay?
Oh, about a quarter turn too far. This way.
There we go.
Perfect. So, how does every scenario start?
Scene size.
Scene safety, BSI. When I get there, first thing I'm gonna do, generally speaking, my patient would be laying down. Here's a very important, moving forward, traction splint tidbit for you guys. Even put on appropriately. As long as you are laying down, the traction splint will not hurt you, cannot pull your knee out, cannot pull your hip out. If I have this on and I pull traction appropriately and I have everything nice and tight and you sit up, it's going to be a bad afternoon. So stay on the ground when somebody's putting this on you. That's for your own benefit, not for mine. You've been warned.
Okay.
So, come in. Scene safety, BSI. Keep going. We're splinting, right? So what do?
Probably check check this.
I'm gonna check CSMs.
CSMs, yeah.
Both feet. Oh, my patient's laying down. I'm gonna check pedal pulses. Which toe am I touching? Pull back. Push down. All right. We have positive CSMs. I'm gonna have my partner now come in and pull manual traction on the affected leg.
You should scooch down
So,
pulls his leg off.
He's just trying to reach
instead of the position you're in, swap your legs so your down knee is like way inside.
I think you.
Because what I'm gonna do is come in from this side.
Okay.
So you need to be around towards his midline. You ready? So while Alex is pulling traction, I'm gonna make.
Great ankle lock, guys. Alright? I really want to tear a knee off. You got a heel hook. Everything goes with it.
It's been nice working with you guys. So we're gonna measure against the non-affected leg. So my patient's gonna have their leg out straight. This is called the ischial strap. The pad here is gonna go sort of right to where butt cheek meets leg. So it goes right on the tuberosity of the patient's pelvis.
Where your Daisy Dukes are.
Make sure you twist these back and get this locked. Because otherwise, when you put it underneath the broken leg, it's just gonna collapse on itself.
So you said you measure it about 6 inches past the foot?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. And up to the like butt or up to the waist?
So, if your patient's wearing jeans, it's gonna be like sort of where the pocket rivet would be on a normally fitted pair. So if patient, not if they're way down here, but if they're seated normally like they're supposed to be, where the pocket rivet would be about where you'd want to be lined up with here.
Okay.
You say pocket rivet, is that the back pocket right here? Like
No,
No.
on the side. You know the little coin pocket?
It's a little dumb button they put on all the cans. You know, like, what is this button for?
What is that button for?
style. It's for a pocket watch.
Is it?
So we come in,
It's for your change. It really is for a
we get our splint in place here, and it's gonna go way up under. You're good. We take our ischial strap, our proximal securing device. Now, I didn't bring down any padding, but like any other buckle that's coming against the skin, we're gonna pad the buckle. This needs to be way high up on your patient's thigh. That's one of the times I accidentally hit somebody, was that? So we got it in place, John.
Oh, it's for girls though. Like the tickle me elbow.
Oh, okay.
So here we go.
nice and like torture device.
Yeah, I know.
I need one of these. I need
You
one of these.
continue, you continue to crank on this
My head.
until the legs are the same length, until mechanical traction takes over from manual, and until your patient feels some relief. So there's only 4 more things left to do here.
So if you just made that tight and he sat up like you were saying
We'll
earlier,
pop his hip out.
he's like, oh shit.
Take it easy.
He's like, wait, I can get out of this class for a moment?
Go back to.
Hey, he'll be able to retire real early.
We have 4 stabilizing straps. We want 2 equally spaced below the knee, but not on the kneecap. So there's his kneecap. And then we want 2 above the knee. 1 just above the kneecap and below the break. One just above the break. Here's my mid-shaft broken femur. Last things last.
Yes, sir.
Which toe am I touching? Look at your toes. Check for a pedal pulse. Now, the last part of this whole station is how the hell are we going to transport this patient?
That's honestly what I was just thinking.
Backboard.
Probably backboard, yeah.
We're going to put this patient on a backboard and move him to the ambulance. Transport him to where?
Nearest facility.
Nearest facility with ALS intercept.
Done and done.
All right.
So the things that you have to watch out here are excess movement. I didn't tighten this a whole bunch. When you're done, the leg shouldn't hang in those stabilizing straps like they're a hammock. The leg should be pulled out straight, and the stabilizing straps are just keeping everything together. And really that's about it. You just gotta kind of work around each other a little bit.
Now, when you're going with the straps up, it's not like with the KED. Like, is there an order to it?
No.
So okay, perfect. Obviously, just the
Two
one at the
just
top.
below the
Well,
knee.
you
Yep.
first put that.
The one at the top,
that
yeah,
first.
yeah.
The ischial
Right.
strap goes
And
on.
then that part on.
Yep.
The distal ankle hitch goes on.
Yeah.
We're now attached.
Then you crank.
Then you crank.
Then,
Yep.
Then you work your way up with the.
Up, down,
Doesn't
middle
matter.
out, who cares?
Okay. Awesome.
So for this specific